Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, I know in the last episode I said that I was going to go fishing. Well, I got bad news. You see this here right here? This here hose, it's supposed to be in there. Anyway, this is what happened. I installed a humminbird GPS heading sensor puck on the back here, and when I did, I accidentally drilled into one of the steering lines and it started leaking hydraulic fluid. So I got on the interwebs and I ordered a new hose, but who knows when it's going to be here. So I'm just going to work on a lot of different stuff, and when the hose gets here, we're going to fix it. So anyway, some of you are probably wondering, well, why did you have to install a GPS puck on the back? Well, this is a GPS plus heading sensor, and what it does is it assists your graph on the mapping. So it tells, you know, with the heading sensor on there, it tells your mapping what orientation your boat's in. And then of course the GPS, you know, is running off the satellites. So your mapping is more fluent and natural when you're running off of one of these pucks. So that was the whole reason for installing one. So I just wanted to explain that real quick so you understood why I even did such a thing. Also, I wanted to explain to you that the puck has to be installed as close to your transducer as possible. So you can see my transducer's right here, and then there's the puck. And the reason for that is so that when you set waypoints, it's the most accurate, because your waypoint is going to be determined off of this puck. So I just wanted to explain that too. All right, well, it's several days later and I finally got the hoses in. So we're gonna get started on this and get this dude installed. I got that hose at SeaTech Marine, and I have to say the shipping was fast. I ordered it on a Thursday and got it on a Monday. So pretty happy with that. The only thing I would say is they didn't send me a tracking number, so I had no idea what was going on. But anyway, there's 2 hoses in this kit, and I'll put a link in the description for you. And that way, if you ever need to replace these hoses, you know where to go. All right, the first step we're gonna need to make is, this is where the old one was right here. But we're gonna go ahead and put the new one in through here. But what I wanted to mention was at the very end of the cable, it'll tell you what the length of the cable is. And when you go to purchase the new cable, make sure you get the right length or you're gonna be up the creek without a paddle. So I went ahead just to verify. I come out here, got the measure tape, and made sure this is a 16-footer. So anyway, I wanted to mention that because it's a pretty important piece of information. So anyway, let's get started on running this new line. All right, I got that hose installed in the back here and got the fitting tightened down and everything. I used Teflon tape on the fitting, and I also used some of this goop underneath this here part so that seals off. and no water gets behind here. So anyway, that's where I'm at. All right, well, I'm gonna have to call it a day. We're losing sunlight and haven't really accomplished much, to be quite honest with you. I did get the rope run through this corner here, going to this percolite. So I'll definitely be able to get the hose up to here. But I went and put this fish tape through here to get up through here, all the way up here to the console. And the darn thing is stuck right in here somewhere. I can see it on the camera. I got a little inspection camera and I can see it on there, but I'll just have to reconvene this tomorrow. Hopefully I can get that line run through there and be good to go. Kind of frustrating, you know. I wish I wouldn't have got into that line, but it is what it is. So anyway, we'll try to take a stab at it tomorrow and see what happens. All right, well, it's the next day. So here's the deal. Today's goal is to get this cotton picking thing, this fish tape, get it unstuck. That's goal number one. Goal number two is to get that hose over there all the way in and installed. So that's the goal today. So that's the plan. So I guess let's get to it. This is getting old. I mean, it's like so ridiculous. It seems like I've been working on this boat forever. So anyway, let's go. Well, I got some good news. I got the darn fish tape out, but you never guess what I had to do it. Check this out. I had to take all the seats out. But anyway, I found the tape. It was back behind here. It had slid all the way up here. And so I got it pulled out. So now let's redo this thing. I think this time I'm gonna go from right here with the fish tape all the way to the percolite. Because what happens at the percolite is the fish tape just wants to go straight down. And there's just too much stuff in there, you know. So if I keep the tape up high, I should be able to get right to the perco and be just fine. And then I get some rope run through there and we'll be ready to put this hose back in here. But I tell you what, guys, that's a costly mistake. Don't ever puncture your hose, dude. That's just ridiculous. All right, I got the hose through the corner here. So now we gotta get it the rest of the way. It shouldn't be too bad though. Jeff's gonna help me, so that's what we're gonna do next. Well, things got kind of serious. Check it out. Oh boy. Anyway, it's sitting over there. But the good news is I've got the power steering line run. That was the biggest pain in the butt I think I've ever experienced. But here it is underneath here. Here's the new. And it's gonna go hook in right there. So get a little Teflon tape on there, tighten her up, and it's installed. The next step is gonna be to add steering fluid and bleed the system. And it takes a special steering fluid for it, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. All right, I got them both in there. I got the GPS line in there now for the GPS heading sensor over there. And I think I need to get some of that goop, silicone sealant stuff. Go ahead and get that sealed up now that I got everything finished. And I'm gonna get the vacuum out. Since I got the seats out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and get a vacuum and vacuum that up, and then put the seats back in. So I guess we'll have to bleed the helm here with the steering fluid. We'll have to bleed it tomorrow or next day, whenever we can get to it. So anyway, we'll talk to you whenever we get to doing that, I guess. Well, I got the seats back in. I got everything. I got the lid put back on. Got everything buttoned back up, except for underneath the dash. And I'll clean that up. I'm worn out, guys. It's going on 5 o'clock, and I'm hungry. I did get the silicone put on the humminbird GPS, so that's done. I got these all put back in place, so I'm pretty happy. I got both lines run today finally, and so it's going to be pretty easy going forward. I just got to button everything up back under there. I got to run the GPS cable up here with the rest of the cables. I've got a new cable seal that I'll be installing. I can do that tomorrow. And so then it's just a matter of bleeding the steering, getting it filled up full of steering fluid. Oh, by the way, hold on. I'll show you that steering fluid. It came in today, so it's pretty cool. So let's see here. Let's bring it out here so you can see it good. So for the C-Star single cylinder, which is what I have, this is a single cylinder, and it holds 2 quarts. The cylinder holds 2 quarts. Now that's not including the 2 steering lines and the helm up there. So you're gonna need probably more closer to 3 quarts, I would think. But I went ahead and purchased 1 gallon, and this is C-Star hydraulic steering fluid. And this is what they call for the C-Star systems. Now you can use other fluids, but I think they're aviation fluids that is the alternatives, and that's what it says in the manual. But we'll get to bleeding this here in the next few days, and we'll have this job done finally, and then I can get out there and start shooting some fishing videos. This is getting ridiculous, man. I completely missed spawn, but it is what it is. It happens. So anyway, I'm going to call it quits for today, and we'll see you when we start bleeding the steering system. All right, well, it's the next day, and I got the underneath the dash, I got it all cleaned out down underneath here. Just kind of tidied up all of that. So I'm waiting on the adapter cable that I need to go into the Solex graph right here. So I'm waiting on that. So I'm at a standstill on that. But I can go ahead and start working on this cable seal and kind of get an idea how I want to get that installed. It's going to go right here for all these cables. And I went ahead and got the Dakota lithium batteries put back in. Also tested them with the multimeter, and we're all good there. I also got the big motor leveled up and ready to start bleeding the hydraulic steering. So it takes 2 people to do that procedure, So I gotta wait for Jeff to get back. But that's where we're at, guys. It's coming along. As soon as I get the steering done, we're ready to go fishing. All right, well, we're ready to get started on adding steering fluid into the steering system. So there's a kit you can get, and it's got this fitting on here to where you can retrofit it onto a quart of oil, or quart container, I should say. And in this fitting, it will thread in to right there. And then that's how you fill up the helm, your steering wheel up here, with steering fluid. So we have to do that first before we start bleeding the system back there. We got to get the helm full of steering fluid. So I've got the steering fluid down here with a funnel. We're going to fill this up, and we're going to start filling up the helm. Now on this end, that kit comes with this fitting, which it just fits on like so onto the fitting. And then you can just drain it off into another container. That way you're not wasting fluid. So I just cleaned up a pitcher here that I'm gonna let it flow into. That way, if I need more fluid later, I can just pour this back up into the helm and we'll be good to go. So that's where we're at. Jeff's not here right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling up the helm and get that part of it done because it doesn't require two people. And then when Jeff gets here, we'll start bleeding the cylinder and get this steering done once and for all. All right, Jeff and I had to do a something a little different here. That kit, it wouldn't fit either one of these quarts. So Jeff had a fitting, and we just drilled a hole in the top of the cap on this here one. So just a heads up, that kit, it doesn't fit these quarts. So kind of useless, to be honest. Well, I had to put some of that silicone around the cap there to keep it from leaking. Hopefully that'll work. I set it out here in the sunlight to dry. It's been a little over an hour. So while that's drying, I'm gonna have to pull off of the steering, fill in the steering until this dries, obviously. So the good news is though, I've got the adapter cable for the GPS, Humminbird GPS. So here's the cable, the new cable, and this is the correct one, okay? It's the AS GPS NEMA accessory. It's a Y cable with GPS connector. And basically it looks like this. And it's going to hook in directly into the NEMA 0183 is where you're gonna fasten it to, right there. And then the cable plugs into the GPS puck right there. Now, this adapter also has a pigtail on it, and that is if you want to send this communication up front to another graph, you can do that. But I won't be using that part because eventually I'm going to put another one of these up front on the front graph closer to that front transducer. So anyway, let's get to putting all this together, and then I've got to tidy up all the wiring and put that cable seal right here. So I got a little bit of work to do with that. We'll do that, and then hopefully that bottle over there, that silicone, will be dry and it won't leak, and then I can get the steering fluid put in. So that's the plan. Well, I got the cable seal installed. The only problem is I wasn't able to get the GPS line to fit through here. So I'll have to do the GPS line. I'll have to put down through here where this old GPS puck was, and then I'll just plug in that way. So I'll order a new cable seal for over here, and then we'll be done. I'm going to try to get this base off from this Lowrance puck, because I'm going to sell this on eBay, on my eBay store, Hawk's Treasures. So I'm going to try to get that sold, and I won't ever use it. So anyway, that's the deal on that. At least I got all of that tidied up, and I just got to get this base off of here and put the new cable seal in. I'll have to order it. I need to order a percolite anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do that all in one sweep. So that's all we could do today for that, I think. So I'm going to see how that silicone's doing over there, see if it's dry, and if it is, I'm going to go ahead and start getting some of the steering fluid put in here. Well, I was able to get that plate off of here, and I cleaned this up with a little bit of Windex. She's looking pretty. So this is where, like I said, the GPS line's going to be, and I'll just buy another one of these cable seals and mount it right here, and that'll be done deal. So right now, let's fire up this humminbird Solix and get this GPS puck going. Let's see how that all works out. Now remember, this adapter cable that I told you about, that is for the Solix units. There's another adapter cable, it's for the Apex units, and then this GPS puck will hook up directly to a Helix unit without an adapter cable. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Okay, well, I got the Solix booted up. We're on the home screen. So all we got to do is go to the GPS, and as you can see right here, external GPS heading sensor. So we are hooked up to the external heading sensor that I installed. We're good to go. Well, we're back to the steering system now, and I did a little research and I discovered that there's 3 different ways that you can bleed this system. The first way is the manual way, which is described in the operations manual for the C-Star. That's directly from C-Star, the manufacturer. The second way is there's apparently a machine you can hook up your steering and the cylinder straight up to a machine, and it'll bleed the system, get all the air out. But the problem with that is you would have to go to a marine dealer or a marine outfit that would have that equipment. Obviously, I don't have that. And then the last way is to use that kit, that bleed kit that I talked about earlier, and we'll just go that route and see what we can get done. First thing, again, like I said, is we're going to have to get this helm filled up. So I'm going to start doing that right now. Well, my little makeshift bottle's been working good. I believe I've got the helm full now. I could turn the wheel all the way in either direction and the fluid level does not go down. So that tells me that the helm is full and the hoses going all the way back to the C-star cylinder are full. So now the next step I'm going to have to do is I'm going to turn the wheel counterclockwise all the way. It's going to slide this piston to one side and then I'll bleed just one side at a time. And then I'll turn the wheel counterclockwise all the way. The cylinder will slide to the other side and then I'll bleed that side. So that's the plan. Now while I do this, I'm going to have to watch the fluid level because if it gets below, it's going to start sucking air. And I can't have that. I'll tell you what guys, all of this garbage just keeps flying down the boat. It's freaking aggravating. I'll tell you. Anyway, I'm going to quit complaining and start working. Okay, I got the motor cocked to one side and I opened the bleeder valve on that side. And you can see up here on the helm that I'm not getting any more bubbles. So that's good. And over here on the side, here you can see that there's still some small bubbles coming up. So I'm just gonna let it kind of do its thing and eventually I'll get all of that out of there. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. I'll have to do the same thing on the other side, it looks like. But it doesn't look too bad. I got to get rid of the rest of the air out of the system. It's just going to take time. Well, while we're waiting on this air to come out of the lines here, one thing I was going to show you about that kit, the reason why it didn't work, you got two fittings on the end of each hose, or on the end of the hose. One fitting plugs into the other. And basically all it does is it pushes all the air up to the helm. Well, I couldn't use it because the fittings were leaking. So if the fittings, if the fittings are leaking, you can guarantee it's pulling air into the system. So that's why I didn't use it. That kit was not good. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. The bubbles are getting a lot more slow. I haven't seen any more real big bubbles yet. But I'm just going to let it do its thing. Like I said, I got the motor turned to one side. And every once in a while I'll turn the steering wheel to put pressure on it. And that seems to help. But it's getting pretty close. It's not going to be much longer. I'd say another 15, 20 minutes. It'll be cleared out of there. Then I got to do the other side. So it's working now. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you about the kit. Don't buy it. Well, I got the motor tilted to the other side and the boobles are getting less and less. So I think we're getting close. So I'm going to do this side for a while and then go back to the other side and hopefully get finished up tonight. If not, we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, well, it's the next day and I've got one side completely bled. Looks really good. So, happy about that. Took a while. The helm still looks good up here too. So, that's where we're at. I'm going to do the other side and then we'll have this thing done. Well, I said that I was done with this side and And all of a sudden, just bubbles mysteriously appeared. It's been that way ever since. I've been in Booble's paradise. It's just ridiculous. But look at it now. Look how clear. Well, it's not really clear. I mean, it's still got some of the old fluid in there. But I mean, the bubbles are gone. You know, you can see like there's 3, but it's down to like 2 or 3 bubbles at a time. So that's where we're at. I didn't even get to the other side, but it is what it is. But I'll just jump on that tomorrow, I guess. Maybe tonight, I don't know yet. But until then, I'll let you know. I thought I'd show you. You see that bubble right there? That's what I'm contending with, just little bubbles like that. You know? Kind of annoying. But that's kind of what I'm dealing with. See, there's some more right there. There's a cluster of them. There's about 4. So I'm hoping I don't have an air leak somewhere if this doesn't stop. But I don't think that's the case. I just think, you know, I got to get all the air out. And I'm getting close. So far, what have we learned on this project? Number 1, do not puncture the steering hose like a doofus. That's number 1. Number 2, if you got to install a new hose, then just gut the boat. Just plan on gutting the boat, because you're not getting it in there until you get the boat. So that's number 2. And what was number 3? Let me think here. Number 3, bleeding the system is going to be a big pain in the booty. So just know that going in, and it is what it is. It's going to be a pain in the butt. So that's the 3 things we've learned in this video. So I thought I'd show you guys my little trick of taking electrician's tape and taping the hose up there because bubbles rise. So that's why I did that. And speaking of bubbles, we're on the cusp of no bubble land. So pretty excited about that. This is what you would call a slow gravity bleed. And if you're not patient, you won't be successful at it. Let me tell you that right now. But I felt like this was the best remedy for my situation. And I'm just gonna have to battle through with it on the other side. So, anyway, that's it. Well, it's the next day, and I got this side done here finally. So, this side is bled. Now, I did the other side last night. I finished up on this side last night. So, we're good to go. The C-Star steering system is finally finished. So, here in a minute, I will show you how well it turns. Okay, fellers and fellettes, I got the plug back in on the helm, and Jeff's going to turn the wheel for us, and then that way we can see how well it turns. So you can go for it, Jeffrey. Turns good, doesn't it? It turns a lot better than it used to, I can tell you that much. So I'm really happy to get it done, even though I'm the one that caused it. But thank you, Jeff. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you liked the content. It was kind of a struggle, but we got through it. And remember, if you screw it up, you can fix it. So just remember that. So anyway, please like, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Comment, share with your friends. And I'm looking forward to going fishing. So anyway, next video I'm going to be fishing. I guarantee you that one. We'll see you.